Didn't you have an affair early on?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
Martha Stewart is the subject of a new documentary on Netflix, and one scandalous confession she made on screen is burning up the headlines. In the trailer for her documentary, Martha threw major shade at husbands who cheat. A heartbeat later, she admitted to cheating on her ex-husband. Martha claimed that her ex, Andy Stewart, never knew about her cheating, and that's just the beginning of this crazy story. On October 10th, the New York Post was one of the first media outlets to spill the tea about Martha's confession. Martha is now 83 years old. She can still talk smack like nobody's business, especially when she lectures young women in her documentary and delivers some brutally honest marriage advice. In the Martha trailer, she says that if you're married and your husband starts to cheat on you, you need to get out of that marriage. But then, someone behind the camera turns the tables on Martha. You hear them asking her, "Didn't you have an affair early on?" Martha didn't miss a beat. She admitted, "Yeah." Martha added, "But I don't think Andy ever knew about that." So, who was Martha's secret lover? She married Andy in 1961, and they divorced in 1990. Martha had one child, a daughter named Alexis, in 1965. TMZ reported on October 11th that Martha stepped out with at least one famous guy after her divorce. Martha dated two-time Oscar-winning actor Anthony Hopkins. She was also linked to a tech architect named Charles Simonyi. If his name doesn't ring a bell, you can thank Charles for creating Word and Excel software during the early days of Microsoft. Newsweek dropped a bombshell on October 11th. They wrote that Martha and Andrew supposedly had a rocky marriage, and according to author Jerry Oppenheimer, they got around in the craziest ways. Jerry wrote an unauthorized biography about Martha called Just Desserts. A decade ago, he did an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, and he blew the lid off Martha's allegedly terrible history throughout the years with men. Jerry accused Martha of treating Andy shabbily, and he called their marriage a horrific union that ended in a nasty divorce. Jerry described a crazy night that allegedly happened in Florence, Italy, 3 years after Martha and Andy married. They were vacationing at a small inn and met a cute guy from England in the bar and drank with him. Later, Andy felt a little tipsy and wanted to return to their room. Martha allegedly had other plans. Jerry told the Mail that Martha got upset and angry, so Andy went to bed alone. Then she allegedly took off with her new friend, and Jerry claimed that she returned long after midnight and told her husband that she'd gone to midnight mass at the cathedral with the guy she had just met in the bar. If you believe that, you'll be blown away by another Martha allegation in Jerry's book. While Martha dissed cheating husbands in her documentary, a source told Jerry that Martha once offered up Andy to a friend because she thought he was a good lover. Jerry also took a deep dive into Martha's pool parties during the swinging 1970s. Jerry alleged in his book that Martha and Andy invited a very small select group of couples and singles to these pool parties, and a close friend of Martha's back then revealed what went down. Jerry's source was Norma Collier, a former high fashion model who was once Martha's business partner. Norma alleged that Martha told her about these pool parties being on the wild side, but Norma never saw this herself. Allegedly, Martha didn't invite Norma and her husband to her clothing optional pool parties because they were uptight Republicans. Norma revealed the swinging side of Martha. She said that Martha was never embarrassed by any of this and loved her fun parties. Norma called Martha an experimental person who enjoyed shocking people. Allegedly, one of those people was Andy's colleague in his New York law firm. Jerry claimed that Martha sat on this guy's lap during one of her pool parties for all to see. This unnamed lawyer also spilled some tea to Jerry about Martha. Andy's colleague discussed his great chemistry with Martha back then. He thought that she was great looking and had delicate, incredible porcelain skin. However, the lawyer revealed that there was nothing delicate about Martha in terms of her personality. He had a thing for challenging women, and the lawyer said that Martha fit that bill. Jerry claimed in his unauthorized biography that Martha and Andy were always fighting about something. If this is the real truth, Martha actually confessed that she wasn't faithful. So much for Martha's claim that Andy never knew. The Mail reported that Martha confessed to Andy during one of those angry moments. Lashing out, Martha allegedly told Andy that she'd gotten intimate with another man during a business trip to LA. Jerry wrote that Andy was floored by Martha's brutal honesty. She allegedly told Andy that it was a one-night stand and merely an experiment, but Andy wasn't blameless either. An unnamed friend of Martha and Andy told Jerry that they both cheated numerous times during their tumultuous tumultuous marriage. Once again, the tea got spilled during a huge argument. The source alleged that Martha asked Andy for details about his cheating, but he was reluctant to tell her anything other than to say yes. Jerry's book didn't cut Martha many breaks. Still, the Mail reported that Jerry interviewed dozens of close friends and family members for the book, and allegedly, they all describe how Martha had grown up in a family ruled by a mean-spirited father. Jerry claimed that Martha's desperate childhood turned her into both a man chaser and a man hater, and she played fast and loose in business and even in her marriage. Martha's maiden name was Martha Kostara. The Mail described her in younger days as a beautiful Jersey girl from a staunch Roman Catholic, middle-class Polish-American family. Jerry alleged that Martha targeted Andy as a future husband because she wanted to marry up. Andy was a Yale University law student when he married Martha, and the Mail confirmed that his family was definitely more upscale than hers. Martha's dad passed away in 1979, and he held 2 working-class jobs to support his family. He was a humble gym teacher and salesman. On the opposite side of the tracks, Andy's dad had a seat on the New York Stock Exchange. Martha got her ticket into higher society, even if her marriage was unhappy, but she paid for it after her divorce. In November 2020, people interviewed Martha during the 30th anniversary of Martha Stewart living. That's when Martha confessed one of the most terrible things to happen in her life. For Martha, getting divorced was terrible. She grew up in a religious family, and she and Andy were the first to divorce. Martha even dropped a bombshell about her ex-husband, and it's sadder than you might think. She told people that she never spoke to Andy after their divorce, and that's made it even more painful. However, Martha admitted, "I'm very strong and I'm very motivated to get on with life." Shockingly, Martha also discussed her best memories during her 5-month jail stint in West Virginia 2 decades ago. She said that she learned how to crochet at the Alderson Federal Prison Camp and still had the gorgeous crocheted poncho she was seen wearing when she left prison. Martha also got back into making ceramics in the prison camp and raved about the fabulous ceramics studio in West Virginia. Some of Martha's critics have thrown shade at her for allegedly being a bad mom, and she tried to set the record straight with people. Martha worked as a successful stockbroker during her marriage, and after she moved out of New York City, she started her at-home catering business. Martha revealed that Alexis learned to cook because of that, and she praised her daughter as a phenomenal cook and baker. Martha claimed that she tried to involve Alexis in everything, but sadly, Alexis wanted to leave home and go to boarding school. That's when Martha revealed the painful truth in this interview. She admitted that her relationship with Alexis has always been difficult. Still, Martha claimed that her daughter would do anything for her, and Martha still feels the same way. But anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Are you shocked that Martha admitted to cheating on her ex-husband? Let me know in the comments below.